Greetings, it's Iain from RTO here. Welcome to Tuesday. We're going to kick off today with, it's a request, but it's from Dave, and it's a band that Dave and I really like, and they're called Two Cellos. Now, Two Cellos are actually two Croatian celloists. They're classically trained. One is Luka Sulic, and the other is Stepan Hauser. And what they do, they take well-known pop and rock songs, as well as little bits of classical music and film music, and turn it into this sort of rocky, sort of classical sound. One of their admirers is actually Elton John. He listened to them and found them terrific. They've worked with lots of other people, and I really enjoy their work. It's a breath of fresh air. They've released to date 6 albums. They're all very good, and I've got every single one of them. I really do like this band. So here we go. So coming in at number 6 is their actually 6th release, and it was released in September of 2021, and it's called Dedicated. So on here, the first track they do is One Republic's Wherever I Go. Now, this is a really good version of it. What I like about these two, you've got one doing all the bassy lines on the cello, and the wonderful lead cello on that track is wonderful. They always end up with their bows. They must go through enough bows because the horsehair is swinging all over the place, loose cannons and all sorts. Yeah, it's a really good version of it. Then they do Billie Eilish's Bad Guy. Now, I'm not a big fan of Billie Eilish, I'm afraid, but all I know is I think this is better than hers. It's a really nice tune, actually. It's quite moving as well. And then we do Guns N' Roses' Sweet Child of Mine. As you know, it's not one of my favourite Guns N' Roses songs, but at least for this one, we haven't got Axl singing. It's not a bad version, actually. Then from Beyonce, Halo. I don't know much about this track. I've heard it, of course. It's all right. I like their interpretation of it. Then they do a Lady Gaga. I don't mind Lady Gaga, and they do her Shallow, which is pretty cool. And then Imagine Dragons, another band we will be featuring on the channel, and their Demons. It's a great version of it. They do an excellent version. And then there's I Don't Care, Ed Sheeran and Justin Bieber. I can't stand these two artists, but this is all right. Then they do Aerosmith's Crying, not a favourite of mine, but I do like this version of it. Just like the next one, Living on the Prayer, loved it in the 80s, but it's overplayed, and they don't do a bad version of Living on a Prayer from Bon Jovi. But the best track on here is their interpretation of The Sound of Silence from Simon and Garfunkel. It's eerie, it's delightful. I do like it. It's probably the second best version I've heard of this song. Yeah, this was a little bit different. They did more poppy songs. Some of the songs are not particular favourites of mine by the originals, but when they get hold of them, they do turn them into something a bit different. So I'm going to give this one an RTO ranking of 7 out of 10. Okay, coming in at number 5, we've got their 4th album from 2017, and it's called Score. And it was done in conjunction with Nick Patrick, and features songs from movies and TV shows. So, first up is a Games of Thrones medley. Never watched Game of Thrones. I've never been into that Dungeons and Dragons thing at all. But I do like the music from it, and they do a great version of it. Then they do May It Be. Now, this originally was done by Enya, and it's from The Lord of the Rings. I love Enya's version, of course, and I think they've really done it justice here. It's a lovely version of that song. For the Love of a Princess, which is from Braveheart. The original is beautiful, and Luca and Stepan keep it within boundaries, and they've turned it into a lovely thing. Then we have Love Story, a beautiful version of this song written by Carl Siegman. They've kept it to its original sort of sound and given it that sort of feel to it. Really good. And then we have from Cinema Paradiso, written by Ennio Morricone. They've stuck to the guns. I think these two really like his sort of work, and they've done it proud. It's really good. Then we have the beautiful Moon River from Breakfast at Tiffany's, written by Henry Mancini and Johnny Mercer. And this is a delightful version of it. It's my favourite piece on here. They give it so much justice. Then we have the love theme from Godfather. It's an iconic piece of music, isn't it? And they just nailed it. I love that. My Heart Will Go On from Titanic. I can't stand the original because I'm not a fan of Celine Dion, the Warbler. But they do a better version of it. Then we have the theme from The Rain Man, one of my favourite films, written by Hans Zimmer, and they've just delivered the thing. And then we have a lovely bit of music called Cavatina from, of course, Deer Hunter. Love this piece of music. And then we get Malina, written by Ennio Morricone again. Once again, these two chaps pay a bit of a homage to him, and they haven't changed the arrangement. Then we get Schindler's List, written by John Williams. Beautiful piece of music. It shows the dramatics of this film from Schindler's List. It just really does be dramatic. And then we have the title from Chariots of Fire, the lovely piece of music written by Vangelis, and again the chaps do this rather well. And the last one is Now We Are Free, of course, Hans Zimmer, written for Gladiator, and it's great. I love the original. I think they just nailed it with these songs. Iconic movie and TV themes, beautifully done. I love listening to this album, so I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 7.3. Okay, coming in at number 4, the 5th album, Let There Be Cello, released in 2018. Now the first bit is Concept 2. Now this is one of the rare times that it's a little piece written by themselves. I love it. I love the bassy lines on this, and it builds up. It's 2 minutes long, but it's got so much emotion. Up next, from Survivor, the theme from Rocky 3, Eye of the Tiger. I just love how they create the guitar work on the cellos, especially that bass line. The guitar solo sounds great done on the cello. It's a really good version of it. Then we get another Hans Zimmer, Pirates of the Caribbean. I love this theme. Really into pirates, and they do a great version of that. Then they do another of their own little ones, and it's called Cadenza. It's a very short 1 minute 18. I would have loved to have seen this a little bit more fuller. It is good though. Then we have a Leonard Cohen number, Hallelujah. Great song by Leonard Cohen. I love how they've done this. Now the bass is done by just plucking the strings, so you've got a real nice bass line, and you get the gentle melody from the other cello. Then we have another Ed Sheeran song, Perfect. I don't like Ed Sheeran. He's just annoying. He seems to pop up everywhere, doesn't he? It's all right. Then we get Vivaldi Storm. Once again, they take a classic of music and turn it on its head and make it more rocky. The bass cello is the highlight of that. Brilliant piece. Then we have Symphony Number 5 and Whole Lot of Love. This is my favourite on the album. It starts off with Beethoven's Fifth, the da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da, and then it turns into Whole Lot of Love by Led Zeppelin. The video to this is hilarious. Then we do White Stripes, Seven Nation Army. Now, would you think this would work on two cellos? Oh, yes, it does. It is absolutely brilliant. Great version of it. And then we have an Isaac Albanese, which is classical, and it's Astria meets Carmen. Never heard this on... Now I've heard this on the classical tar. It's fantastic, and they've really done a wonderful version of it. Then we have another classical piece of music written by Luis Fonse. It's called Despachico, and it's really good. Then they do the Queen's The Show Must Go On. They do it justice. I love the bassy cellos on this. A really nice version of John Lennon's Imagines on here. Then there's a thing called Champions Anthem, which is actually Zorba the Greek. And they really belt it out, and it's brilliant version. It's a great piece of music to end this album. Of course, written by George Frederick Handel. I love how they put a mixture of pop, classical and rock on one album. It's another good album, and I'm going to give it an RTO ranking of 7.5. Coming in at number 3 is their second album from 2012, and it's called Intuition. Now this features lots of other people. On drums on Highway to Hell, we have got Dusan Kranik, Tom Snyder on keyboards on Benedictus, Bob Eversrin, Benedictus the keyboards. The first track is a great little version of Fleetwood Mac's Oh Well, and guess who does the vocal on it? Only a certain Mr. Elton John. He spoke highly of them, and obviously they work together, and they do a great version of Oh Well. Brilliant. The bassy cello is brilliant on that. Then they do a Rihanna track, We Found Love, which is much better than Rihanna's version. They've taken a poppy song and given it a little bit of rock. Then the best thing on here is their version of AC/DC's Highway to Hell, which the video to this is brilliant. Dave loves this video because it features Stevie Vai on guitar, and he does the guitar solo on it, and it's a brilliant collaboration of this great song. Then we have a wonderful deep meaning version of The Police's Every Breath You Take. The interpretation of this is fantastic. You've got the bass line and the little plucky sounds, really good. Now I think these two are big fans of Muse, because they do a version of Supermassive Black Hole that featured Naya Riviera. Naya doing the vocal bit. It's my second favourite track on here. They really do a great version of this. Then they do Technical Difficulties by Racer X. I think this version's far better. Then they do a Coldplay track. They do Clocks, which features Lang Lang. I know I hate Coldplay, but I did like this track, and I think they do a just great version of it. Then we do Cher's Bang Bang, which features Sky Ferreira. A very good version of it. The stunning vocals from Sky are brilliant. Then we have a bit of the Prodigy, and they do Voodoo People. I never thought I'd hear two cellos doing the Prodigy, but they do a damn good version. Then they play homage to Elton John, and they do a great version of Candle in the Wind. Lovely. Then we have one of their own things, and it's called Orient Express, and it's 3 minutes long, and it's a really nice piece of music. I love how I wish they would do more of this of their own stuff. Brilliant stuff. Then we have Il Liberal del Amor, which features Zucchero. Great thing. You've got a little bit of Peter Gabriel's sound on there. It's pretty good. And then Carl Jenkins Benedictus, probably one of my favourite pieces of music. It's wonderful. It's moving, and when I put the it in the playlist tonight, I'll put the live version of it. They played at the beginning of a concert. It's absolutely beautiful. Once again, a great mixture of rock, pop. So I shall give this album an RTO ranking of 7.6. Okay, coming in at number 2, their third album from 2015, Celloverse. Opens up with another sort of a fusion track. It opens up with a little bit of the William Tell Overture, which is brilliant, and that evolves into Iron Maiden's The Trooper, and it is a killer track. It's one of my favourite covers of them doing it. How they integrate the William Tell into The Trooper is just fantastic. Then they do a Mumford & Sons song, I Will Wait. Great interpretation. It's a good song anyway, but they do a really good version. And they do another AC/DC, and they do Thunderstruck. Brilliant version of it. Absolutely top draw. How they get the guitar bits and Brian's vocals done on cello is fantastic. Then they do another Muse track, and they do Hysteria. I love this. It's my second favourite track on here. It's just absolutely brilliant. Then they do a Sting song, Shape of My Heart, one of my favourite songs by Sting as a solo artist, and they do that great justice. Then they do a piece from a Hans Zimmer piece called Mombasa, which is from Music Inception, the film. I've heard the original of this, and they do, once again, they've never done a bad cover. And then they do Time as well from the same picture. Then they do Avicii's Wake Me Up. Now, I've never been a big fan of this guy. You know, it's sad what happened to him. But they've done a really good version of it. Then they do a Michael Jackson song, They Don't Care About Us. Interesting version. I think it's a little bit better. And then we have a little bit of Live and Let Die from Wings. And Lang Lang doing the piano work. And I'll tell you what, this is far better than the Guns N' Roses version. Then they do a Radiohead track, Spirit Free Fade Out, and a great version of that. Then one of their own, Celloverse, and I think it's the longest track they've ever done of one of their own. It's a gentle start, and it just builds up. It's a two-man concert. Then when you hear the end of this, you can imagine there'd be hardly any hairs left on that bow. Brilliant. Once again, they just nail these covers and out of the park. Just solid as you like. So I'm going to give that an RTO ranking of 7.7. But my number one album, and it's their debut from 2011. First thing I ever heard of it, and this just totally blew me away. So the first track is U2's Where the Streets Have No Name, off the Joshua Tree. They give it the full treatment, the build-up of the track as well. It's just a brilliant version of it. Then we have Mr. Lou, the theme from Pulp Fiction. I love this piece of music. They just do a great version of it, and it sounds great on the cello. Then from the Kings of Leon, we have You Somebody. Love the original of this. It's just a great track from the Kings of Leon. And they nailed it again. Top draw stuff from Luca and Stepan. Then they do a version of Smooth Criminal. Brilliant, especially the bassy bits. God, absolutely terrific. Then they do another Sting song, and this time it's Fragile, which is a beautiful version of it. Wonderful stuff. Then we have the Muse again, and it's their version of Resistance. It's my favourite track on here. I don't mind the Muse version either, but I think this is brilliant. The way they're plucking at the beginning is a fabulous interpretation of this song. And then a track that you just don't expect them to do. It's Hurt by 9 Inch Nails. And what a good version of it. Taking a sort of modern day rock song and giving it the classical treatment. Really good. Then Welcome to the Jungle. Another brilliant interpretation of the Guns N' Roses song. Bit more Michael Jackson. Human Nature. I love how they've taken this classic pop piece and turned it into a classical genius. Another Coldplay. Viva la Vida. They put some life into the song. That's all I would say. Sounds a lot better. Smells Like Teen Spirit from Nirvana. I love the bassy cello on this. Really heavy as well. Back to U2 with or Without You. I love the original, and this has got the eeriness that they've captured with the cellos. And that was the last shot. I think this is my #1 album because it's the first album that Dave and I ever heard, and it totally blew us away. And it's a stunning album. Just what you needed, something different. So I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 8 out of 10. So there we go. There's a little trip through the two cellos. Go and listen to their stuff. It is all on Spotify. If you like rock done in a classical way, you'll love this. This is just, and you just can't believe it's done by two chaps. Absolutely stunning what they do. Okay, coming up next is Retro Ranking, and we got a fun one today because it's Fun Boy 3. So join me for that later. Bye for now.